Alrighty, so we've got S and we've got L and S, right? Same frequency as L, vibrates out of phase, and the graph shows the variation of time of the displacement of X of the waves emitted by S and L. Determine the relationship of the phase, right? This phase is typically going to be like it's 90 degrees ahead or 90 degrees behind, right? So we got to do a little figuring here, right? So let's look at S, and we go from, what is that, 0.3 to, what is that, 1.1? 0.3 to 1.1 is that 0.8 seconds. So a full cycle is 0.8 seconds, right? And if I look at this, how far behind is this guy? This guy is, what is that? That is 0.1 of a second behind, right? L is ahead, S is behind, right? So S is 0.1 of a second behind, so 0.1 over 0.8, right, is an eighth of a full cycle. That times 2 pi, right? 1/8, 1 divided by 8 times, let's go 360. That's 45 degrees, right? 45 degrees or pi over 4, okay, is our phase difference, right? Okay, so 1/8 of 360 is 45, or 1/8 of 2 pi is pi over 4, right? Okay, so S is what, behind L? S is pi over 4 behind L, or L leads S, right? What are they saying? Let's see, S leads L. Oh, S leads L. Why does S lead L? Oh, yeah, sorry. Ahead of. Right, because this guy reaches his peak, L reaches it later in time, right? Okay, S comes through the origin, L is does it later, right? Yeah, these are confusing. I think these are confusing, right? You got to look at the graph. All right, and then it says on the graph, sketch the variation of the wave formed by the superposition of the waves. So what you're going to do is you're going to add these up, right? So for example, right here we've got what, 0.6 and 0. Right, so that's going to be the same, right? Here we've got, let's look at this. This is what, 0.9, and what is this? 0.6. So 0.9 and 0.6 is 1.5, right? Yeah, is there. Then right here where they cross, we've got 2. What is that point? Gotta read that. That's going to be like just a little bit higher. So basically, just read these two graphs and add them up and come up with where they are. Right? It's going to be this sort of exaggerated curve. Okay. So add this one to this one, and then try to draw a little graph and pick easy spots because the cycles will repeat themselves later. And see if you can add them. So just add the two together. And be real specific, like draw little vertical lines and read the graph. Read this one, read that one. Oh, time's up, right? Add them together.